All right, for today's work, let's take a look at what if I have to change the whole base. Now, yesterday was pretty simple. Here we just needed to change a number. Like question number 3, we just needed to change that to 2 to the third, and then we were able to move on. But what if I cannot just make one change? Looking at question number 5, right? I cannot go 16 to a numbered equal to 64. In this case, I have to change everything, all my numbers. I know 4 to the second is 16, and I know 4 to the third is 64. So in this case, I'm going to change everything. I'm going to do this as 4 to the third to the negative n. I'm doing parentheses because there's another exponent, times 4 to the third is equal to 4 to the second. When I have parentheses, I have to multiply my exponents. So let me write this as 4 to the negative 3n times 4 to the third is equal to 4 to the second. Let me combine these two. It's multiplication, so I must add. If it was division, I will subtract top minus the bottom one. But in this case, I'm going to add. I have 4 to the negative 3n plus 3 is equal to 4 to the second. I added my exponents. Now that I have the same base and only one number on each side of the equal sign, I'm going to let my exponents equal each other. So I have negative 3n plus 3 is equal to 2. You guys see, I'm just letting my exponents equal each other. The rest is just plain algebra 1. Let me subtract 3 on each side. I have that negative 3n is equal to negative 1. Let me divide by negative 3. N is equal to 1 over 3. Negative divided by negative made it positive. Right, let's take a look at my example number 6. Yesterday we learned that 3 to the 5th is equal to 243. I know 3 to the second is 9. I know 3 to the third, let me write that right now. 3 to the third is 27. So 3 to the negative third should be 1 over 27. All right, so let's take a look. 243, I'm going to rewrite that as 3 to the 5th to the 3x times 3 to the negative third is equal to 3 squared to the negative x. Let me get rid of parentheses. I'm going to multiply my exponents in here and here. So I'm going to have 3 to the 15x times 3 to the negative third is equal to 3 to the negative 2x. Let me combine. This is multiplication, so I'm just going to add my exponents. Remember, division, subtract the exponents. But here to have the 3 to the 15x minus 3 is equal to 3 to the negative 2x. Now I'm just going to let my exponents equal each other. 15x minus 3 equals negative 2x. I'm going to move my 2x as a plus 2x on the left. My minus 3, I'm going to move it as a plus 3 on the right. So I have that 17x is equal to 3. So x must be 3 over 17. Let's take a look, a couple more examples. I'm going to take a look at my example number 7. I must rewrite everything with the same base. And I remember that 4 to the second is 16 and 4 to the third is 64. So my 16 here, I'm going to write that as 4 squared to the 2x times my 16 here, I'm going to write this as 4 squared to the 3x plus 3 equals 4 to the third. Where I see parentheses, I'm going to get rid of it by multiplying my exponents. So I'm looking at this and this. So I have 4 to the 4x times 4 to the 6x plus 6 Notice I distributed my 2 equals 4 to the third. Now let me combine these two. It's multiplication, so I must add my exponents. I have 4 to the 10x plus 6 is equal to 4 to the third. Now I'm just going to let my exponents equal each other. So I have that 10x plus 6 is equal to 3. Let me subtract 6. 10x equals negative 3. So x must be negative 3 over 10. Let's take a look at my example number 8. I know 5 to the third equals 125. 5 to the fourth equals 625. So 5 to the negative fourth equals 1 over 625. So this fraction, I'm just going to call it 5 to the negative fourth to the negative 2n times 125, I'm just going to call that 5 to the third to the negative n equals my 625, I'm going to call that 5 to the fourth to the n. I'm going to get rid of parentheses by multiplying my exponents on those three cases. So I get 5 to the 8n times 5 to the negative 3n equals 5 to the 4n. Let me simplify by combining these into one term. Because it's multiplication, I'm adding my exponents. Division, I subtract my exponents. So I'm going to call this 5 to the 5n. It's equal to 5 to the 4n. Now, I'm just going to let my exponents equal each other since I have the same base. So I have that 5n equals 4n. Let me subtract 4n on each side. So I have 5n minus 4n gives me 1n. On the right side, I have nothing, so that's a 0. So there you go. N is equal to 0. That's a quick look of what we saw today.